What's going on, everybody? It is the Countdown Latino Slant every Monday evening. Special guest today, Matt Kadish from the Salty Nerds podcast. Love those vatos. And yeah, we got a hard middle finger that might be happening to the Acolyte tomorrow. Also, too, Bad Boys Talk, Crazy Indian sci-fi reaction. But here's what I'd like to do. I would love for you guys to say hello in the chat, smash the like, share the link. We did so on Twitter. So if you want to retweet that, retweet the tweet, or is it re-X the X? I don't know. Now that it's X, maybe we should be the Latinx slant. It'd be cool and have John Leguizamo on the show. Yeah. Shit. This was our feeling this week. I made that. That was a lot of fun. Penny's here. All the some early birds are here. I love that. We love early birds. We are live on X and YouTube. On YouTube, however, there is a poll going on right now. Are you going to see The Acolyte? Now, here are the poll possibilities. Yes, the Force is female. 2, no, much disturbed the show is. 3, maybe, waiting for full force. 4, we have Star Wars at home. Vote now, vote often. That would be cool. So yeah, that's going on. We have a few announcements to make before we bring on our guests, before we hit our news items. We're muy busy. This Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, we're going to have our membership movie night. Members are going to come on the panel with me, and we're going to watch El Santo versus Los Mumias. That's right. The Mexican wrestler takes on dead mummies in Mexico. The movie's from 1972. It's crazy. It's wild. It's wacky. But you guys wanted to see it. So part of your membership is that you get to hang out. We will watch this El Santo Luchador film together. That is this Wednesday. The stream has already been created. All that good stuff. ¿Qué más? Pues, a ver qué más. Oh, yes, we're gonna go to this in a minute. It's our Que Pasa newsletter on the Latino Slant. And we're going to spotlight an actress who's heating up. Oh, I forgot to add Matt. Just yes or no. Did you see Hitman yet? He did. Oh, did you likes? What? We might get a live review of the Hitman from Matt Kadish. Because there's a fine mamacita that's the leading actress in there, Adria Arjona, and we're going to talk about her for a minute. So that's coming up right now. We got a channel spotlight, the Daily Cella. I mean, we got a lot going on here. Got about 45 more seconds. Then we're going to bring up the lights, all that good stuff. Be right back. All right, Polly here on the Latino Slant. What's happening, everybody? Hope everyone is doing well. I had a good weekend. It's been a weekend home alone with 4 dogs, and they're still alive. Got one underfoot right here. Mr. Butters is burping in the kitchen. All the kids are fed. That's a good thing. Hope you guys are having a great Monday. So right now, let's do this thing. So we told you about the Wednesday night membership. That's this Wednesday night. So pin it, all that good stuff. Now let's get on over to our website, thelatinoslant.com, and let's bring up our newsletter. This is this is our 12th edition of our recent newsletter. And if, as you can see, we really kind of pack it in with videos of the week from the site that I thought, like, depending on, like, maybe they did good numbers, interesting topics, to some exclusive coverage that only we have on our website. But in this case, this indie film called The Unexpecteds. And then you have a Zoot Suit origin story from the 1940s that we were showing at the Daily Cello. So what I try to do is really showcase what we're doing on our YouTube channel, our website, and then showcase other channels. But what I'm finding out here is people really always like the first spotlight, because what I do is I take a Latina actress and just a nice little eye candy, put the photo up, and, give a little information on the actress. So in this week is Adria Arjona, and Adria Arjona, she was in Andor, Morbius. Don't hold that against her. She's actually really good. She hails from Puerto Rico and Guatemala. She's currently in The Hitman, starring opposite Glenn Powell. So we did a spotlight on her 2 years ago. And so we have that video as a link here. So if you get on the newsletter on thelatinoslant.com, give us your email. Every week you're going to get a newsletter. Nothing else. You're not going to get any other garbage, any other junk. We're not giving your emails out to anybody. It's just for our own in-house purposes. So that is Adria Arjona. And I kind of like what we've been doing, because we started around 2020, the channel. The very next year, we started spotlighting up-and-coming Latino actors and actresses. People you hadn't heard of yet, from Jen Ortega to Adria Arjona, to Ise Gonzalez, who was in the Gentleman's Warfare movie. She was fantastic. And Adria's got something very special. I've seen her in a couple things. And I'm curious as to what Matt Kadish thinks about her performance in The Hitman. So I wanted to plug that. I wanted to plug our website. As you know, we have a Rotten Tomato critic, Rosa Para. She's exclusive on the site. She gives us her movie reviews, all that good stuff. And we're lucky to have her. She's a great addition to the familia. Okay, so coming up next. So we did that. We're going to bring in our guest, but I want to say hello to some people, and then I want to send a prayer out to a buddy of ours who is not doing so well. The first person who's here is Andrew. Hello, Andrew. Penny, ¿qué pasó? Odega, what's happening, Odega? Sin, definitely not going to see The Acolyte. I'm going to rewatch Bad Boys 4 tomorrow with my son, though. I couldn't get through that show. Is it good? It's just me. It's got to be a special type of show that's animated, that's going to keep me hanging on. Okay, so you're saying it is fun to watch, Penny. Trying to get my hubby to watch with me. That's definitely something Romy will never watch with me, is a cartoon. Hey, no one's perfect. OG, hello, OG. Hey, Polly. Hey, Emily. Hey, Darth Plato. What's happening? Penny in the house, in la casa. Okay, so let's get some prayer hands up and going right now. Unfortunately, earlier today, I heard some news that our buddy Mike A, aka Clobbering Times, unfortunately suffered a heart attack. And he actually had a bad fall. He's in the hospital right now. And the last report I got was that he is not doing too well. So, prayer hands up, well wishes, good thoughts, good juju, whoever you pray to, do me a favor right now and give a quick prayer out for Clobbering Times, for Mike and his family, healing mercies. We pray from God that he make it swift, and you give him that love and strength that he needs to power through this and to get on back to us. And whatever your will is, God, that's what it is. But Klobby was one of the first persons ever I met 4 years ago when I started Latino Slant. And he's given me so much education on comics, on the lore, on everything you can imagine. Anytime I'm stuck, I call Klobby. And we've had him on the show a lot. In fact, he was one of the first members of the channel. And he was one of our first mods. God bless you, Mike. I love you. And I'm thinking heavily about you, as everyone else in the chat is thinking about you right now. Get well. Dan, what's up, Dan? Wexwuto, what's happening? And more mega. Absolutely. We love you, man. We'll I hope to be hearing from you soon. Okay, that is my hope. Okay, so let's kind of like change it up a little bit, get a little funness going back here, and we'll be right back. I know it's a tough transition, but it's something that has to be done. I wanted to do it early. Yeah, let's play some congas, something like that, something fun. Here we go. Be right back. Bueno. Aquí estamos in Latino Slant. Soy yo, Pablito, and we have some wonderful people in the chat. Avengers Rising just got here. Are you a fan of Zack Snyder too? I'm a fan of I'm a fan of some of his films. How's that? How's that, Avengers? Okay. I think we're good. We got you guys got all the information and all that good stuff. Let's bring in Fletcher. Are you here with me? I know we started early. What's up, brother? ¿Cómo estás?
Todo bien. Hola a toda la gente en Latinoslandia.
Latinoslandia. Okay, so are you a fan of Salty Nerd Podcast?
Nah, man. Them fools, they don't even roll like that, I thought they rep for Vegas, but they ain't about the life.
Hey. They let us podcast from their studio, so shut up, man.
Oh, that Salty Nerd
podcast. Yeah.
Man, they're so down, man. They're the hot sauce in my tacos. They're the best, Whenever I go down there, I'm like, dude, what's up, Salties? And they were like, yo.
Yeah. What's funny was that he asked me to do a review, which I still owe him a review on Google or something like that. That's going to be the first line. They are the hot sauce in my taco. There's got to be some song there with that, Fletch. Or did I lose Fletch? Fletch has the wackiest internet connection. We love him. Figure it out. But right now we have Matt Kadish from Salty Nerd Podcast, my brother.
The hot sauce to my taco. Yes.
It was pretty good.
That was good. I like that.
Here's the funny part is that we've broken bread over nachos.
Mm-hmm.
Was Delicious. It Nacho Mama? What's it called?
No, it was Nacho Daddy.
Nacho Daddy, bro. I like that spot. And then we got that T-shirt for Romy, and I got to tell you, she looks pretty cute every time she puts that T-shirt on.
Nice. There's another taco place. It's called Torchy's Tacos in Austin, Texas, and I got a really cool T-shirt there that my wife wears all the time. She basically stole it from me, so it looks better on her.
I remember the first Torchies. It was a taco truck. Because when I was living there in 05, they had just started. And now it's this big thing. Anyways, hombre, it's good to have you here, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good to be here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, look at everyone say hello to Matt. How do you guys maneuver with so much fandom news, whether it's new stuff that's being announced from Hollywood to actors and directors saying crazy stuff about their work, about fans? How do you guys do? I mean, you guys got a good team. How do you do it, brother?
Well, I look at what I'm interested in talking about, then I tell everyone else that's what we're talking about. That's pretty much the system.
Is that the system? You're in your home studio right now, correct?
No, this is the Salty Nerd Studio.
Is it? Let's see. Is it the room?
What's that?
Is it the? It's not the studios.
No, this is the bullpen.
The bullpen.
Studio is like behind that wall there.
Correct. I've been there. I've been the bullpen. We did a great show with Mike live there in February, and because I didn't know what we were going to talk about.
I kept
this guy brings up immigration, and I'm like, dude, I don't talk about this stuff on the slant. Like, I definitely don't do it live. It's very rare that I do a political thing live.
Mm-hmm.
This guy. Hey, and you know what? Things have gotten better.
Always getting better.
No, like with it is a nutty political year. I mean, that's just putting it lightly.
It's the best soap opera on the planet.
You know what? I'm glad that you're seeing it as I do, watching the wheels turning, because I find that no matter who and where I engage with, for the most part, and this is like, one-on-one and, talking about something, I say one thing they don't agree with, end of discussion. It's like, people, go ahead.
I was just going to say, since 2016, it's just been like, you can't make this stuff up. It's like the craziest reality show I've ever witnessed. And it's still going.
It's still going, brother. It's still going. So yeah, that was funny when you threw that at me. And of course, Mike is way more conservative than I am. So I was like, guys,
it's funny looking at because Mike used to be like hardcore on the opposite side.
Correct.
And then he like kind of got red pilled, and now he's spewing common sense for the most part. But it's kind of interesting to hear him talk about his transformation, because he was heavy Democrat for a long time.
Well, he was a huge contributor and ran campaigns.
Yep.
So, it's their loss. And that's the way I see it.
It's funny because I always message him. I'm like, hey, you want to come on the Saturday show and stuff like that? And he's always saying, oh, I've got a class about anti-carjacking or hostage negotiation or survivalist in the mountains. Or he's like learning something for like the oncoming Civil War.
I mean, that is not a joke. He really is. It's always like, some tactical training, and it's always in a different state he's in.
Yep.
Right? I'm like, where are you now? I'm in Tennessee.
Yeah, he's traveling the world. He's basically trying to become Batman. I'm convinced. Mexican Batman.
Okay, let's say hello to a couple of starred comments, and then we're gonna get to that. Oh, is Fletcher back? Are you back, sir?
Yes, I think I'm back.
You're good.
Yes.
Okay, say hello to Mr. Matthew there.
Oh, Mr. Matthew, how are you? Man, I love those salty nerd stuff. Yeah. On point.
Thank you, Fletcher. We love you too.
Oh. Battleborn.
Tapado, man. Such a tapado. Okay. How are we doing in the chat, Fletcher? Everyone good? I guess he's having problems. Yeah, this is one thing we're gonna need to get you like a portable antenna dish, something. You're gonna strap it on your back because this has been happening a lot. All right, figure it out. Dan Craney's a member of the channel. Hail, Polly, and the terrific mods. Let's go, vamos. By the way, why do you use the word slant in your username? Well, it's not racial. It's just a perspective, my perspective. It's just a Latino slant. That's it. You know, it's not very creative either. It's just poly slant. I don't know. Salsa, not sauce. Okay. The way to Vato's heart is through his stomach. Indeed, Donovan. Indeed. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, man. What was your last meal you just had, man? Today?
My last meal?
Yeah, what did you just have? Did you just eat or did you wait?
I had some beef jerky. That was it.
That was it?
Yeah.
What did I have? I mixed it up. I made a really good chicken Caesar salad with a lean cuisine meal. Now,
that's good.
I did really good for my lunch, so I can be bad after this because I have pizza leftovers.
Nice.
There you go. That's how you do it.
Yesterday, my wife made me an early Father's Day dinner, which was basically meatloaf.
Oh, I love meatloaf. Do you have mashed potatoes?
Mashed cauliflower. Trying to watch my carbs.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
That's a good lady, man. That's a good lady. Lombardi, buenas noches, Latino. Slant and Fletcher Williams, buenas noches. Darth Plato is a long-time member of the channel. Part of the problem is that we all have a distorted notion of tolerance now. Tolerance now is supposed to mean that you have to agree and support progressive stuff. Real tolerance has been marginalized.
Yeah, and there's only tolerance on one side, right? The other side is very they say that they're the tolerant side, but they are really the most intolerant people out there.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, because I think this falls in line. Listen, I'm not a gamer. You know, I appreciate friends that are, you know, kind of doing their thing and having a hard time. But I think what you just said, Darth, and what Matt just said, there's a daily example of the other side. And I'm not even I don't even consider it now like it's beyond politics. They're just in another reality. Really is. It's just another reality. And because I consider myself, Matt, a pretty liberal dude. But I'm like, wait a minute, don't put me in with those guys.
Well, there's nothing inherently wrong with having liberal beliefs. It's just that if you look at people who disagree with you and say that and villainize them, say that they're evil, say that they're racist, bigots, like whatever, and that they have to agree with you, otherwise they deserve to be put in re-education camps or killed or put in jail or whatever the case may be. Like it's okay to have disagreements. It's okay to have differing sets of belief, but it's not okay to basically villainize the people who completely disagree with you.
Well, according to Alyssa Mercante, you're wrong.
Oh yeah, she's intolerant.
And you know, this is I just saw this before you came on, and the anime guy put this up, but I guess she's Frosk 2.0. Just a reminder, the smug, narcissistic biatch is 100% indicative of the types of freaks, feminists, and weirdos that compromise the entirety of activists who make up the modern video game industry. And they hate most of us old school gamers. I would even say old school liberals as well, because I consider myself a freak and a weirdo as well. I mean, I grew up in the theater, you know what I'm saying? But have you seen this video?
I have not.
Well, I'm going to delight you guys. Here we go. Let's watch a little bit of this.
I want people in the industry to be a little bit louder about people being mean to other people, and maybe say it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe say we don't want you around if you're going to be a cunt.
Yeah.
And hateful. and that the games industry is diverse naturally.
Oh boy.
Big Frost vibes on this one. It's almost like shot for shot what they did on G4.
Well, it's also very like, hey everybody, I know so much more than you do, everyone. Everybody, go tell everyone out there to, shut
Well, Paulie, I don't know what it was like when you were growing up, but when I was growing up, when I got bullied,
yeah.
I just stood up to the bully.
Mm-hmm.
Like this whole kind of culture where it's like, oh, because people are being mean online while you're playing video games, we need to get rid of these people. It's like, just ignore them or stand up to them. Like this babysitter mentality that is prevalent in all forms of entertainment, where we need to police the fandom or the fan base or the users or the audience or whatever the case may be.
Any fandom, right?
It is a losing proposition.
You're
But
not going to win. Correct.
These people don't want to win. They want something to complain about. They want someone to villainize, because it's the only way that they can grab power, by saying like, oh, I'm marginalized, I'm a victim, therefore I need to be compensated. That's their game plan.
All right, let's watch the rest of it. Let's watch the rest of this. Let's bear it.
Not because anyone's making them be diverse, because the world is diverse, you stupid motherfucker.
Yeah. What is this on? What TV show is this? A GB? Do you have any idea?
No clue.
Okay.
And if you have a problem with,
Yeah.
I don't even know who this person is.
I think the name's Alyssa Mercanti.
Yeah, I don't know who she is.
I have no idea. All I know is this vibe. Everything about this vibe and these homies that are trying to do this with her, these guys are straight up cowards. This is there is nothing here that's authentic in what she's saying, and and what she says right now is absolutely just incredible that she says it. Watch this.
She looks like the best friend from the Wonder Years. The guy
Listen, I'm not going to go after her look, bro.
Be,
I'm not going to go after her looks. I think what she says is just garbage enough. You know what I'm saying? To me, going after any like her looks, that's too easy.
She's just, everyone on this panel is weird looking, in my opinion.
But again, Matt, creative people are weird looking. That's what I'm saying. I don't have a problem with that.
I would argue these people aren't creative.
Oh, there you go. All right, here we go. Very touche.
that, come fight me. Physically. Bitch.
Has anyone taken you up on that yet?
No, because they're all pussies.
Yep.
Wow. So brave. So powerful.
What if someone did take her up on it?
What if someone took you up on it?
Like, what would she do? Would she actually meet them out by the flagpole?
I mean, it's such a heated time. Why would you do this? Why would you talk like this?
I don't know. Both girls on that couch look very uncomfortable.
Well, they all, I mean, I just don't get this whole thing. Did anyone in the chat, do we know who these people are, the show, what this is? Because I have no idea. Fletcher, do you have any idea who this is?
Yeah, Melissa Mercado is basically a moderator, and she worked with a few game companies to bring about a lot of these, DEI kind of projects into place, and she basically was made the head of a moderator unit on a few of the games that were kind of hot at the time. She had a beef with people like Grums and
I knew we asked the right person. Okay.
Yeah, and they basically doxed their people doxed a few people. She had threatened a few people, like physically threat and like she's doing now, but name names, and she was cheering for people to get doxed and their families to get doxed and stuff like that. So she's been persona non grata in the gaming industry right now.
I don't know who you are, Miss Mercante. I don't know who your people are. I'm just going to give you my sage words of advice as a black belt teacher. shut up. Real people that know how to fight, they're not going to come up to you and talk to you. What happens with this, Matt? Like you said, with bullying, sooner or later you're going to bully the wrong person. And I'm not talking, I'm just saying, like, someone will just come up and just smack you. It's like, shut up, dude.
Well, if she gets beaten up by anyone, she can claim that she was assaulted and it was a hate crime, and it's just proof that video gamers are misogynistic and all that other stuff. So she kind of wins either way.
Well, you know what? I have an 8-year-old niece who's one of my students in jiu-jitsu, and she kicks ass. Maybe me and her will go over there to Mercante. Hey, you want to fight? You want to fight, man? Fight my niece. She'll beat your ass. That's terrible.
There you go.
That's terrible. All right. Any other words on this, Fletcher?
No, she's the kind of person that docks people's families and cheers for other things that are very, very wrong. But then she cowers when everybody does anything to her, even remotely, like seeming like even calling her a name or something on the internet. So it's she just does a lot of things for clout. I'm upset. Her name is Mercante, so we don't associate.
You're not claiming her?
No, sorry. As a part of the Latino community, we don't claim her.
We got our own problems, man. We don't need,
we don't need that.
We don't need to be claiming that homegirl.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to claim her, Kadish?
Nope.
Yeah, see? Nobody's claiming that chick.
The she got fired thing was misinformation. She took Tukatu out her bio, and JT smashed, and the others read into it. I haven't seen anything that indicated she was actually fired. Yikes,
I don't
Polly.
think she got fired. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. I saw this online. I just saw this right before we went online. And to me, it's like every day there's just something. And it's kind of like they have the same talking points. It's like that boilerplate, kind of like Wokoso talking points, whether you're an actor or a gamer or a producer, I don't know what.
Was she the one who docked Scrums?
She cheered that on. She wasn't exactly the one. She mostly went into I think JP is the one that was more on her line of sight, and Crumpus, I believe, because they really were trying to take his website down, cheering it on to get doxxed. So she's part of a lot of tentacles.
Is she any relation to Walter Mercado? I hope not.
Yeah, no, because then she would be able to see the future.
Ah. You know who Walter Mercado is? Puerto Rican, kind of like a fortune teller, and he's very flamboyant, blonde hair. Like, he's a trip. Is he alive still?
I believe he's still doing like 1-800,
Yeah, he started the 1-800s in Spanish back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And,
Dionne Warwick style.
Correct. And he's got a documentary on his life. It was pretty good. Okay, all right. Let's turn a hard corner, shall we? And let's hit our first news item, because Matt Kadish is a huge Indian cinema fan. Are you not?
I love me some Tollywood.
So this film is the most highly anticipated, most expensive Indian film to be released. The hype is real. It stars some huge stars, and it's called Kalki 2898 AD. You got a chance to see the trailer. I want to watch a little bit of it, and then we'll get your thoughts. Is that okay?
Yep.
All right, cool. Let's do that, everybody. This comes out June 27th, and pre-sales are out now in the States, all that good stuff. Let's give it a listen.
ఈ భూమి మీద మొదటి నగరం,
ఈ వరల్డ్ లో చివరి నగరం కాశీ. అయినా నీళ్లుంటాయంట.
భూమిని మొత్తం పీల్చేస్తే అన్ని అక్కడే ఉంటాయి. ఈ లోకంలో ఉన్నది కాంప్లెక్స్ ఒక్కటే, దేవుడు ఒక్కడే సుప్రీం లాస్కిన్.
నీలాంటోడు ఎంత మందిని రక్షించచ్చో తెలుసా?
నేను రక్షించాల్సిందే ఒక్కడే. 6000 సంవత్సరాల క్రితం కనిపించింది. ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ ఆ పవర్ వచ్చిందంటే ఇక వెలుగు వచ్చే సమయం అయింది.
ప్రాణంలో ఇంకో ప్రాణం.
నువ్విప్పుడు కనపోయేది మామూలు ప్రాణం కాదమ్మా, సృష్టిని నేను కాపాడుతా.
దీన్ని ఎలాగైనా ఆపి తీరాలి. పొద్దున్నే ఫైట్ అండి బుజ్జి. ఎంత మంచి.
Okay. What are your thoughts right now, Matt? This has over 7.7 million views in the first 11 hours. Hit me.
So this is like Mad Max meets Rebel Moon meets the Anunnaki mythology. It looks like the craziest movie I think I've ever seen. It's science fiction, it's fantasy, it's kind of like post-apocalyptic, but it's got like this deep mythology to it. And the action looks absolutely amazing. I had never heard of this until you sent me this trailer, and I'm like, I am so down to watch this. You have no idea.
Really?
Like,
okay.
This looks really freaking good. If you've ever seen RRR or Brahmasta or any of these kind of like big sweeping action epics from Tollywood or Indian cinema, you know that they're doing the type of stuff we wish Hollywood was doing right now. They're telling fun spectacle stories that don't have any political messaging in them whatsoever. They're just straight up entertainment. And this thing, like, you kind of stopped the trailer before it got like super crazy. But this thing, like, I was hyped by the time the trailer was over. I was like, I want to see this. This looks amazing. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah. So the simple story is that obviously they're in the future. The old man is the one guy who saw the avatars 6,000 years ago and then now. And then there's this whole connection with Prabhas and this beautiful woman to where he's going to be the reluctant hero. And he's a wise ass. He just wants bounties. You know, I love it. I love this stuff. You know, and Prabhas was the lead actor in a movie called Bahubali. And that was RRR's director.
Yeah.
Before RRR. I don't know if you got to see that one.
Like this scene right here where he's like surrounded by the bad guys. Like,
yeah,
this is a great moment where he's like, I've never lost a fight until now, and I'm not going to lose this one, is what he says.
Nice.
Then like right here, I won't lose this one either. And then like this is where the trailer just like picks up. You're just like, God damn this.
Yeah, look at that world. Hollywood has forgotten how to give us our heroes, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically a superhero movie. This is like a Marvel film, essentially, but without the Marvel aspect of it.
No, I mean, you're totally on point. I mean, and you're on point that consistently India now is in a golden age of just giving us so many entertaining stories.
I feel like this is what Rebel Moon should have been, right? You know, like it looks really, really good.
This is dope right here. This is dope right here. Hold on. That's great. Well, good. All right. So that's a thumbs up for you. You're going to check it out.
I definitely want to watch this. Definitely.
Nice. It's going to be at Cinemark and AMC theaters in Vegas. I already got my ticket for LA. And no, guys, no one's paying me to talk about this movie. None of that stuff. You guys know that I've been watching Indian cinema now for a couple of years. So I love these actors. And Fletcher, you got anything to say about this before I take it off?
Yeah, I think it just looks like a really good, fun adventure. Do we know that is it going to be past 3 hours or like at the 3 hour mark or something?
Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, like
But
Sanders saying, does it feature a song and dance? It might. This is not Bollywood. I think this is
well,
Tamil, right?
well, hold on. It's at 2 hours and 50 minutes, which probably means they will have an intermission, which most American theaters honor the Indian intermission, which is great. I love intermissions in a lot of movies, Kadish. You get like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, do your thing, get a little refreshed. This is a pan-Indian film, meaning that they have different actors from different parts of India, all big stars, and it's filmed in Hindi and in Telugu. So, I don't know if there's going to be song and dance. It probably might be a little bit.
I hope so. Like the song and dance numbers in RRR were next level.
Yeah.
Really, really entertaining stuff.
You saw that movie. Did we talk about that? And is Matt frozen?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I didn't get your answer.
Oh, what was the question?
I didn't know that you had seen RRR.
Oh yeah, it's one of our most viewed reviews on our channel.
Oh, I think we talked about that. Yeah. So Donovan says, cool, reminds me of some recent high concept fantasy Chinese films.
Yeah. A lot of the cool new Chinese films are getting really
extravagant.
Into the fantasy realm. And there was just one that I forgot what it was. It went into the mecha realm, and that one, man, the mechas look even better than the ones they did in Atlas.
Okay. Well, this morning the trailer came out, and it was out in the trailer was out in theaters in India, and then they put it up on YouTube, and it's been a whole big thing. So I wanted to get a real American reaction from Kadish. So that's cool, man. I'm glad you dug it. What did you see? Did you see any new movies this weekend, or what's the most recent new film you've seen?
So I watched 2 movies this weekend. The first one was called Under Paris. It's a French film about sharks underneath the city of Paris. And I watched that because my wife is a huge shark lover. She loves anything sharks. And then I watched The Hitman on Netflix.
Oh, with Adria Arjona. Tell us what you thought about The Hitman. We'll make you we'll blow you up a little bit.
It was a fine movie. I mean, it was a nice little romantic comedy. It's based on a true story. But Glenn Powell kind of like stole the show. He plays this guy who works with the what do you call it, New Orleans Police Department. Who he goes undercover and pretends to be a hitman, and when people hire him to do contract killings, they then arrest the person and use his sting operation as proof to put the people away. And it's basically a story about this guy who meets this woman who's in an abusive relationship, and she's kind of at her wit's end, so she's like looking to hire a hitman to get rid of her husband. And he feels kind of like sorry for her, and so he's like, hey, why don't you try this other way of dealing with this problem instead? And that leads to them kind of getting romantically entangled. And things get kind of complicated when an undercover person working for the police department, he's not a cop, but he's working for the police department, starts dating a suspect, and hilarity ensues. So it was a pretty decent movie. Glenn Powell was really good in it. The actress that you pointed out, though she's incredibly beautiful, she doesn't have a whole lot to do in the movie. My wife really enjoyed it, but I just thought it was okay. It's a Richard Linklater film. So like, if you guys know who he is, he like did Dazed and Confused and Slacker and a bunch of like kind of like indie 90s movies. And this one was just kind of like, it was a little bit more interesting than his normal fare, but it was still kind of like, it was all right.
Let me ask you this: well, what was something maybe I've seen in the past that's kind of similar to Hitman? What did it remind you of, if anything?
It kind of reminded me of this movie called Mr. Nice Guy with Sam Rockwell. It's basically just, you know, it gets kind of dark towards the end, but for the most part, it's just kind of like a weird romantic comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, like I wish I could think of something that it's like closer to, but like honestly, it's kind of so off. It's kind of an offbeat movie, so it's not. There's not really anything that you can really draw a close parallel to with it.
So, does it try to, you know, be zany and dark, or is it pretty organic in the storytelling? You know, like,
no, it's not specifically zany. I mean, it's kind of funny because Glenn Powell, so like he gets like super method. His character gets super method with pretending to be hitman. So every time he goes undercover as a hitman, he like takes on a different persona. And so like it's kind of fun seeing him like do these like different characters as like hitmen. Like one of them is like this like Russian like emo guy, and another one
really?
another one
That's kind of cool.
He's doing an impression of Patrick Bateman from American Psycho, and so like he's always like doing like these different types of characters, and it was pretty interesting. But it was based off of like a real guy who would actually like, you know, like do this stuff. They obviously take some creative liberties with the story, but I'm kind of interested to kind of dig into like the real story behind it, because I think that's more interesting. But it was a fine movie. Like I can't really say anything bad about it. I just didn't think it was like anything that blew my socks off.
Okay, fair enough. Some people saw it. Sin's Corner says, I kind of felt the same way about Hitman. It was okay, but I wasn't in love with it as other people seemed to be. But people are, it's like generally positive, like it's not the best thing, but they, you know, they thought that Glenn.
There was nothing egregiously bad about it, right?
Right.
Like it wasn't something where it was like, oh, this movie's stupid, or it's woke, or it's preachy, or like whatever. It was just like, it was an okay movie, you know.
Okay.
I think women tend to enjoy it more than dudes do, because it is more about kind of like a romance type thing, and
it's like a rom-com.
Yeah, it's a rom-com. Glenn Powell's like really good-looking guy, and he's having fun in the role. So you know, like it's fine.
Glenn is getting like that. He's taking over the Ryan Reynolds Gosling. He's the next guy.
Well, I saw a funny tweet the other day where it basically said Glenn Powell. The only reason people are liking Glenn Powell is because Army Hammer started eating people. You know? So.
We got our first bigote of the night, everybody. Well, actually, Mercante should have gotten this one, but this is a Mercante Army Hammer bigote. Wow.
I've been a big fan of Glenn Powell since I saw him in Scream Queens. He played this character named Chad Radwell. He was absolutely hilarious in that show, and it's good to see him kind of blowing up. You know, he was Top Gun Maverick. He recently did that movie with Sydney Sweeney. He's getting a lot of attention. I think it's well deserved.
It's his year. This is his year. He's got Twisters coming out, and like you said, I think this started about 2 years ago as far as big movies. But then he also produced that Airman movie. Him and Jonathan Majors.
Yeah. Him and Kang.
And, what's that?
Him and Kang.
Yeah, I love that film. I think I saw it twice. It's a very moving film based off a true story. Korean War, pilots. So I think he helped produce that one. So he's really kind of like overseeing a lot of his projects now. So good for him.
Yeah, he helped write and produce Hitman. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh. Well, at least it didn't go by way of The Pool Man.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Because I heard that was probably, I hear it's one of the worst movies of the year.
Really? Chris Pine in a bad movie? You don't say.
Yeah, shocking. I think shocking. So, all right. What do you guys think out there in the chat? Let us know. We're going to be hitting our next item, but let's clear the starred comments. Georgie Girl. Hey, Georgie Girl. I've always loved foreign cinema and shows. Glad to see it's getting more attention these days. We are, speaking of, in a couple weeks, we're going to do a breakdown discussion of Amores Perros from Mexico. I think that movie now is like 25 years old now, Fletcher. It's insane. And it stars a very young Gael Garcia Bernal. You ever seen that film?
Teenager young.
Yeah.
He was so young, yeah. That was a disturbing film.
Yeah, brilliant film. Brilliant. Have you ever seen that film, Kadish?
Can't say I have, no.
Okay. But Georgie Girl, make sure you are subscribed because we are also going to release our review, a retro review on the, I believe it's 1952 this movie came out, Los Olvidados by Luis Buñuel. We have a review from Mexico coming up, and I'm very excited about that. And we're always trying to, showcase some of the classic Latin American cinema as well. The Basco scenario. Saludos a todos. Saludos a todos. You know what that means, Matt?
I do not.
Saludos. Hello. Good health. How you doing? A todos. To everyone. Saludos a todos. There you go. So when you walk into your favorite Mexican joint, I want you to say Saludos a todos. And they'll love you for... Yeah, go ahead. Practice. Go ahead.
I usually just say, "I way."
No.
Same reaction, probably.
Yeah, probably the same reaction. Yeah,
okay.
You're right. You're right. Why be nice and say, "Hey, wait." Yeah, don't say, "Hey, pendejos." Don't do that.
Don't say that.
No.
Okay.
You're gonna get it. Depending on who you say it to, you might get a reaction. Dan, what's up, Dan? Member of the channel. Wow. I'm sold. I plan on going to see Kalki. Right on. Dan, not to dox you, but what part of the states are you in? Are you going to see it in? I'm just curious. Don't want to answer? Don't worry about it. Contra 87. Check out the Bike Riders trailer. I'm not excited about it.
No, there's something about that just doesn't interest me.
It's very old hat. Like, there's just nothing new of that.
If
of the trailer
Sons of Anarchy, you don't need to go see that movie. Essentially,
yeah. And there's something about Tom Hardy playing a tough guy in America. How you doing, everybody? Kind of sounds like a throwback type of actor. I'm gonna get on my bike, and you're gonna have to kill me to take my motorcycle jacket off my back. I don't know. Maybe Contra. Maybe.
So would that be like Sons of Anarchy, prequel?
No, it's based on a real story.
There you go. Based on a real story. Where were we? Craziest Hitman story I ever heard was the mom who tried to hire a hitman to kill daughter's cheerleader rival's mom.
Made a movie out of that, I believe.
They make movies out of all these, plus the true crime networks. They got those on the Plato. Peter Sellers would have been good for this. For Hitman?
I could see that.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
For Hitman.
Equalizer. I recall when American cinema imitated the films out of Europe and Asia. Now Euro and Asian cinema imitates what American cinema used to put out. I gotta tell you, man, I think we've been in a rut for like 20 years. I think they just caught up, Matt. And you're a filmmaker.
Yeah, 80s and 90s movies were kind of like the pinnacle, I'd say. And ever since Hollywood started becoming a propaganda machine instead of entertainment machine, it's been a steady decline.
I would say the last big blockbusters film was the Lord of the Rings trilogies. That really
those were definitely the most culturally relevant movies, blockbusters, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people keep trying to make a thing out of Avatar, and I'm just like, I don't think Avatar is a thing, no matter how much money it makes at the box office.
I think it's more of a technical spectacle, and kids like it.
Sure. but it's not something that resonates with the culture and something like Lord of the Rings does, you know?
Absolutely.
I'd actually argue that maybe like Dune or something like Barbie might be like more culturally relevant. So.
Definitely. That, or even Oppenheimer was, you know? Well, yeah. I mean, compared to Avatar. I mean, so we've had some good moments. And speaking of Bad Boys,
what you gonna do?
What you gonna do when they come for you? Where's my Skittles? $2,000 for some yo-hos.
We really like the film here. Kadish is not going to see the film, but that's okay.
I mean, I'll see it when it comes out on streaming, but I'm not going to go to the theater for it.
So here's our news item. As you guys know by now, it delivers over 104 million globally first weekend. Is this a big hit back for Will Smith, for Martin Lawrence? Before I get your answer, Kadish, and your thoughts, I want to go to this, which I was a little surprised as far as the movie going demo. A- cinema score, North America, alongside generally positive reviews. Just as promising, 44% of the audience was between 18 and 34. Showing Smith has a following among young consumers. Black moviegoers made up the largest quadrant of the audience with 44%. He's still the man. What say you?
I mean, I guess. I'm glad that, you know, the movie's doing well. I'm glad that people are going to theaters to go see it. I personally, like, to me, the only good Bad Boys movie is the first one. All the other ones I felt like were either too long or not interesting enough, or whatever the case may be. And I also I haven't liked Will Smith in a long time, just personally. Like, I think after Wild Wild West, I kind of just lost interest in him as a movie star. I've seen pretty much all of his movies since then, and he's gotten away from the kind of like blockbuster style movie and moved more towards the Oscar bait movies. And so he was trying to be a serious actor for a while, and those movies that just didn't interest me at all. And I also think that they kind of hurt his star power, but he finally got his Oscar, and then he kind of ruined his Oscar win by doing the Chris Rock slap. And that turned a lot of, I think, older fans against him. And so he definitely needs to kind of rehab his image a little bit, and this seems to be the first step in that, because I know that this movie's doing really well, and it's kind of getting back to his roots as a A-list actor. And so I think his people are trying to leverage this into more comeback movies where he can kind of raise his profile amongst audiences once again as a big box office draw, kind of like how he used to be before he started doing all the more serious roles. And maybe he might Nick Cage this, where he leverages his Oscar win into more blockbuster movies. But me personally, I'm just kind of over Will Smith. It's not surprising that he has a draw amongst younger crowds, because he is still kind of involved in music and YouTube and stuff like that, which appeal to the younger crowd. And he's got his kids who also kind of tap into that. So they're aware of who Will Smith is. They've seen all the memes of him slapping Chris Rock and stuff like that. And also people are just they always liked his dumb, fun, goofy, funny action movies, right? It's kind of like the Eddie Murphy formula, where you get a funny, charismatic leading man to do these crazy movies like Men in Black or Beverly Hills Cop or what have you, and people just enjoy watching them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to take away anything from people who like this movie or want to go see this movie. It's perfectly fine. It's just, for me, I don't like Will Smith right now. His personal brand is something that just turns me off. So I'm not super into seeing this. I'll watch it when it gets back to, when it gets to streaming. but I have no interest in seeing it in the theaters. I just don't.
Yeah.
And I'm back.
Yay! Well, if it makes you feel better, I kind of lost sight of Will Smith during it. I was concentrated on Martin Lawrence, because to me, Martin Lawrence stole the whole thing. Like, it was a Martin Lawrence movie, Martin Lawrence back in action, Martin Lawrence like back, like super back. Like, he overshadowed Will Smith. Like, Will Smith was a background character in a lot of it too. So it was like, you know, the straight man to Martin, and to me, it was more of a Martin movie than a Will Smith movie.
I've
never been a big Martin Lawrence fan either.
Oh well,
yeah. So you're just, and I get that too, But let me ask you this, guys: does Will Smith need to go keep apologizing to the Black community?
I think he needs to get a different wife. That would just solve all problems, because she's really the reason why I think a lot of people, especially in the Black community, just don't respect him.
Well, I sent you this video, and I haven't seen it yet. I want to bring it up in regards to Stephen A. Smith saying Will Smith still needs to sit down and give an explanation to the Black community about why he slapped Chris Rock. And this is the Breakfast Club's reaction. Let's check this out. Before we go on, what do you think of that?
I mean, I kind of agree with him. Like, I do think Will Smith has to do some damage control. Chris Rock's last special, he spent a good amount of time basically ripping into Will Smith over like what he did. A lot of Chris Rock's like comic friends, you know, stand-up comedians like Dave Chappelle, stuff like that. They lost a lot of respect for Will Smith for what he did. I think that there's still this feeling in the industry, maybe not so much in the public, but in the industry, that Will Smith hasn't actually atoned for that kind of action that he took. What's really interesting to me, though, is so this guy that they're talking about, Stephen A. Smith. A little bit later in the video, you have Charlemagne the God, who's kind of like the main DJ of the Breakfast Club, which is the clip that you're playing. So he comes out and he basically says that the Black community is not all like a monolith. You know, like they have different ideas and different like different beliefs, stuff like that. They don't all walk in lockstep. They don't all think alike. And I found it ironic coming from him, because like he was the one interviewing Joe Biden, where Joe Biden said, "If you don't vote for me, you ain't Black." Right. And it's kind of like, well, when it comes to politics, like everyone believes that the Black community thinks the same, believes the same, all this other stuff. And Charlemagne never pushed back against that. But with this, he's pushing back. With this, he's saying, "Oh, the Black community has different views."
Hasn't he since then pushed back?
I haven't heard about it.
Fletcher, do you know since then has Charlemagne pushed back on that Joe Biden stuff? Okay, as he's trying. Wasn't there a rumor that Will was trying to get Chris in the movie?
I haven't heard about that.
Fletcher?
Yeah, they were talking about that Will was really trying to get Chris Rock in the movie so they can play out him, you know, smacking him. They had to settle for, like, later on in the movie, almost towards the end, Martin Lawrence smacking him into, like, you know, from
several times. Yeah,
several times, until he was like, you know, you're a good man type deal. So, like, slapping him back. Yeah. So
that was a great scene. Until Tom pointed it out when we were breaking it down the other night, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that was his cathartic I'm sorry moment." He's like, "Let me just have Lawrence slap the shit out of me a few times." Okay. What do you guys think in the chat about this Stephen A. Smith, about this Breakfast Club thing, about Will Smith? I think he's one of our last movie stars. Matthew. I mean, he brings a lot of people to the theater, a lot of different people to the theater.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of like a holdover from when like there were still movie stars.
Correct.
I don't know if he's like the last movie star. Like I think there's still people who can open a movie. Like you got Tom Cruise, a couple other people, but again, they're all holdovers. I think the issue right now is that Hollywood's not making any new movie stars, right?
Yeah, that's another issue. Okay, so I'm gonna take that video off. We get it. Got some opinions in the chat. Aaron Taylor, what's up, Aaron? How you doing? Stephen A. and Charlemagne, two pillars of intellectual prowess.
I think that's sarcasm.
Yeah, what are you really trying to say, Aaron? Wex Wuto, 2 years ago, nobody cares. Stephen A. just wants clicks. Right, all right. Sin, I think a lot of people feel like his apology wasn't sincere. And yeah, Jada is toxic as hell and has zero respect for him. It's gross. I kind of feel bad for him. No excuse for what he did, though. Any last thoughts there, Matthew?
I mean, I've never understood the marriage to Jada Pinkett Smith. I never thought she was like attractive or interesting or particularly smart or whatever. She just seemed like very manipulative. And there were rumors that Will Smith and Margot Robbie were like hooking up for a while. And I was kind of like, well, I kind of wish he'd leave Jada and go with Margot. But I guess that didn't happen. But it really just comes down to like Will Smith has this incredibly toxic woman in his life who's just continually humiliating him. And he seems almost like a broken man in a lot of respects. And it's hard to idolize or prop up or, really like, look at a man like that in a good light, which is what you need to be a movie star. So it's complicated, but me personally, I think there's still like a good portion of the audience out there that they're over Will Smith, and he's got to work really hard to get them back in his corner.
Well, before we end the Will Smith segment and go into our huge Acolyte, last segment of the night, let's just bring this up real quick. That's funny, but I wanted to bring this up. I don't know if you saw this, but Will Smith went to a movie theater the other night to watch Bad Boys, and I'm a little bummed out because he literally went to my movie theater, but the show after me, because we went to the 4 p.m. show, and I was like, wait, oh man, the slant misses again. Check this out, guys.
We're in Baldwin Hills. We're about to go in the theater. It's a ritual I have. I do it like when I have a movie come out on Friday, Saturday, and usually a matinee on Sunday.
It's right down the street from where I live.
Theaters.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that motherfucker cook the shit.
That's pretty cool, Matt.
Yep.
That's pretty dope. People love him. That's and listen, I don't think this was staged. I mean, his side was probably staged and produced, but these are real reactions.
No, like I've been in, when I used to live in LA, I was in situations where, actors, celebrities, they'd be in the movie theater because they want to kind of get a sense of what the audience is thinking, right? And that's actually kind of a lost art in Hollywood, where most of the people responsible for making movies don't care about the audience anymore. So it's good to see that Will Smith was there to kind of gauge the reaction of the audience, and because it was positive, like I think he decided to do the big reveal and then interact with his fans. If it had been something where like the movie didn't have a good reaction from the audience, I doubt that he would have done the big reveal thing. But that's cool, giving all those people an experience like that. That was neat.
Yeah.
Well,
you could tell he's right by the exit. If there wasn't any laughs,
It's not like, your girl Furiosa and Hemsworth going up in front of press and invited fans before the movie. Hello, everyone. Hello. This is the real shit, Kadish.
I think Furiosa was probably a better movie than Bad Boys, but
not on this channel.
Well, you haven't seen it,
But-
so you can't say.
that's true.
That's true.
But I thought Furiosa was really good.
Well, it's always nice to have your feelings and your opinions. But this was the other night, guys. Pretty cool. And then we'll share this funny video later on. But that was Will Smith at an LA theater, Baldwin Hills, Crenshaw Plaza, where I go see a lot of my movies. Okay. Why don't we what do we got next, young man Fletcher?
Next we have the greatest Star Wars TV show in the history of Star Wars TV shows. The one who will go down as the one who truly explained what the Force is.
The low rider is a little higher.
Acolyte gives Disney Plus best series opening of 2020, but falls short of Ahsoka's numbers from last year. Let's say that nice and little right there. Nice and little. Oh, that's nice and little. Kadish, did you see Ahsoka?
I saw Ahsoka and I saw the Acolyte.
Why so much fervor over the show? This is not a good television show so far.
Well, I mean, every time Lucasfilm comes out with, whether it be a new movie or a new TV show, they always have their kind of like simps in the media promoting it, because that's what they're there for, right? Whether or not the product's good or not. And the product hasn't been good since, Return of the Jedi, essentially. But with this thing, what's kind of interesting about this is that the accounting for the viewership numbers is very suspicious. When it comes to streaming networks like Netflix and stuff like that, the most important metric to gauge whether or not it's worth the investment for these companies is watch time. Like Netflix, like for a $200 million original movie or original series or whatever the case may be, they need something like they need to get at least like 20 million watch hours or something like that out of it. And the way that they come to that metric is they look at, at least how Disney does it, is they look at the runtime of the show, and then they divide that by total amount of watch hours. But what they don't tell you is that those watch hours are cumulative across all accounts. So like one account might watch the Acolyte for 2 minutes, but that 2 minutes is then added to another account that watched maybe like 28 minutes of it. And so that accounts for 30 minutes. That's one watch, right? So what they're not telling you is actually the watch percentages or the completed watch rate across accounts. They're just adding up all the amounts of watch hours and then dividing it by the runtime. Now, what they haven't told us is if they're dividing that by the runtime of the first episode, but counting the watch hours for both episodes because it was premiered, the first two episodes premiered together, or if they're dividing that watch time by the runtime of both episodes combined. They're not telling us that. My suspicion is that they're just dividing it by the runtime of the first episode, but they're counting the watch time of both episodes. And so I think that they're kind of playing Hollywood accounting games with this thing by saying, oh, this is a hit publicly, because these numbers that everyone's touting, they come straight from Disney. And as we all know, Disney, they play fast and loose with their streaming numbers. Like, for instance, like their actual like subscription base, when they say like, oh, we have 65, 70 million subscribers, like they don't tell you that maybe like 30% of those are the free signups for the first month. And they have like a
We're going to get to those numbers in a minute. I actually pulled those numbers up. But this is great insight you're giving us, Caters. Let me read this paragraph because you're right on point, right? Disney Plus says the Star Wars series recorded the biggest opening for a show on the streaming so far this year, with the premiere episode recording 11.1 million views, the equivalent of many complete shows the equivalent of that many complete showings of the 42-minute episode worldwide over 5 days. That equates to about 426.2 million minutes or 7.77 million hours of watch time. This is to say that they're being forthright. Like, okay.
Well, I mean, the question I have is, out of all the Disney subscribers, all the Disney accounts that watched the Acolyte, what was the actual completion rate of that? Like, what was the average watch time across all the accounts? Because if this is a 42-minute episode, but most people are only watching the first 10 minutes of it before they bounce because it's so stupid, or because Trinity dies in the first 10 minutes or something like that, and they're just like, oh, this is stupid, I'm gonna bounce. Like they're counting all that stuff cumulatively. But the broader picture would be, okay, was the audience actually engaged? Did the audience actually care enough to stick around? How many watched through to episode 2? What was that percent? Because that's actually like completion. We're all YouTubers here, right? The completion rate of a video is a better gauge of audience satisfaction than like total watch time, for instance, right? So I would be interested to know those metrics, like how many people actually bothered to watch the entire episode as opposed to just a portion of it.
I couldn't find those. Oddly, Disney didn't release that yet.
No, probably because they're abysmal. Like, remember when Amazon came out and they had to eat that information that only, I think, 30% of the viewership of Rings of Power completed like the season or something like that. It's kind of the same thing here, where they can say like, oh, this was the biggest opening of 2024. We're only like halfway through 2024 right now. But what they don't tell you is like whether or not audiences actually liked the show. And they're trying really hard to convince us that people actually like this show, and I'm just not buying it because it's dumb. It's a
so let's just say that they're telling. Let's just say the numbers are true. Still pretty bad numbers. Now, what I did is I grabbed. Let's grab the subs, right? As far as Disney Plus, I got 154 million subs. Prime has 205 million subs. Max 76.8 million subs. So I was like, well, obviously I don't want to compare it to a Netflix television show because their subs are massive. Let me compare it to an Amazon because it's a little bit more, and then we're going to compare it to the game of House of the Dragon.
Well, can I just, before you compare it, so that 154 million subs, what they don't tell you is that they lump in the subscribers to ESPN Plus and all the other like Disney run streamers into that equation. So all 154 million subscribers worldwide, a portion of those don't even watch Disney Plus, right? They're there for ESPN Plus or Hulu.
Yeah.
Okay?
Actually,
they pump all three of those in together.
The numbers I have is 153 Disney Plus. And yes, that's like all the Disney platforms. Then 50 million Hulu, then 25 million ESPN Plus, totaling to 229 million. So I did take it out. This is just Disney numbers, Disney Plus, but worldwide, correct? Right? North America, South America, Europe, Middle East, North Africa, South Africa, Asia Pacific. So that's okay, I'm like, all right, well, let's just say that they're onto something, whatever, right? We bring up Fallout. TV show on Amazon Prime had over 220 million views, making it the most watched stream title in the United States. In its first 16 days, the show had 65 million viewers worldwide. So this article is saying in its first 5 days, it had 7.7 million watch hours, correct?
Well, I don't know what Amazon counts as a view.
Well,
right?
I'm just like, right. Go on. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, like views, I mean, depending on what service you're talking about, like they have different definitions for their metrics.
Mm-hmm.
So like a view, they might say like, okay, did somebody watch longer than 30 seconds? That might count as a view.
Mm-hmm.
But like a watch hour or like a view might be in this case, they had to watch the entire runtime of the episode to be counted as a view. So I don't think there's like an industry standard across that,
Mm-hmm.
but like let's just assume that it's the same across.
Let's just assume it is, right? And that's why I bring it up, because Fallout was a big hit. Like it actually has an audience that liked it, right? And so that's why I'm comparing it like with Acolyte, with Fallout, and Acolyte now with House of the Dragons in its first season. And again, this was when HBO and HBO Max were separate and smaller. They're not the 76.8 million that they are now.
Well, Paulie, what's interesting about Fallout and House of the Dragon is that those were hour-long dramas, right? So like their runtime was actually like longer than the Acolyte is. Lucasfilm puts out these like they're basically half-hour episodes, right? Even though this one
right, that's why they put them together.
Yeah, that's what like with credits and stuff like that. But they're actually like quite short, and so the shorter the runtime, the more views you can rack up. Right.
So this is even more of an accomplishment because you are a longer hour-long show, and look at all the views that you're able to grab. Is that what you're saying?
If they're using the same equation.
If all these numbers are legit, the way I see it as far as Fallout, One Piece, and House of Dragons legit is that there's actually fans of these shows.
Yeah, fans of the source material.
Fans of the material, now fans of the source material, now fans of the shows. 10 million viewers for that first episode. The second episode was watched by over 10 million across both linear and streaming platforms. So on a much smaller thing, I think I was just trying to just connect some dots here that, these are still pretty awful numbers for the Acolyte. And they have been awful numbers for Ahsoka and all these. Go ahead.
I think they're kind of on par for like a typical Star Wars TV show, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the exception of maybe season 2 of The Mandalorian, but that also had the extenuating circumstances of being released during COVID. And so like, a lot of people were watching that one just because they were home and they were looking for stuff to watch. But if you look at stuff like Andor, I think Andor really underperformed, even though it's probably the best Star Wars TV show.
No one saw that show.
Book of Boba Fett probably underperformed. It's one. I think Ahsoka, despite the fact that it had like a bigger opening, like that had the benefit of people who were fans of Rebels wanting to see like the continuation of the Rebels story.
Correct.
And so you kind of had that part of the Star Wars fan base really like coming in to watch it, and that definitely gave it a boost. But I think very quickly as they got into the show, they realized that it was a really bad show. But this one in particular, The Acolyte, it's particularly interesting simply because it costs so much to make. Like it was like what, 160, 180 million dollars in total for 6 or 8 like half-hour episodes. And when I watched the first 2 episodes, I was actually taken aback at how cheap the show looks. Like it literally like looks like a fan film in terms of like production quality. It was really shocking. So
$188 million. Let's talk about that for a second before we talk about this being the eve of, from what everyone's telling us, all our buddies, that this is going to be probably the most if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, OG, the most kind of like destructive deconstruction.
I mean, like Star Wars died when The Last Jedi came out. That was like the thing that
You mean creatively?
just as a franchise, The Last Jedi killed the Star Wars fan base, right? It killed the mythology of Star Wars. It killed Luke Skywalker, who was kind of like the linchpin of the Star Wars universe. And so like everything post The Last Jedi has just been basically desiccating the corpse of what Star Wars used to be. And now it's at the point where the agenda is more important than the entertainment or the fan base or the lore or the continuity or anything like that. And like that New York Times piece about Leslie Headland, and that was the one where Kathleen Kennedy came out and said that the male fan base is so toxic and all this other stuff. There was a part in there where basically like Leslie Headland talked about how she submitted her treatment for the Acolyte show to Kathleen Kennedy. And Kathleen Kennedy told her, is like, this is a great Star Wars story, but I want a great Leslie Headland story. So she gave it back to her and said, like, make this your own as opposed to trying to please the fans. And so now we have, quote unquote, and these are Leslie Headland's words, the gayest Star Wars ever made. And from what we hear about the episode that's coming out tomorrow, basically there's like
hold on to that. Because please hold on that. Jesus. What was I going to say to you? Fletcher, help me out here. Darn it. I can't believe it. Got it. I'm back on. Okay. 188 million. I want to talk about the budget really quickly and where this thing was filmed. Right? In the UK and in Portugal. I actually talked to someone very close to the production again today. And there was some setbacks, right? In production where they had to halt production. Right? Namely one where our lead hurt herself in her martial arts and had to be hospitalized. That, as you know, is a very expensive, no matter what. And so you take this 188 million, and you're a filmmaker, Matt. You go to another country, and that 188 is like maybe 2 times. So that's what's on the books. But probably if this was all filmed in the States, it would have been more than this.
Well, they filmed at Pinewood Studios in the UK for the tax credits there. I'm not clear on what parts they shot in Portugal or why they just decided to shoot there. So they probably actually saved some, like part of that 188 is probably like attributable to tax credits because, I mean, Lucasfilm shot Indiana Jones there and they've shot like pretty much every Star Wars thing over there. So yeah, it'd probably be more expensive if they shot here in the United States. Well, at least if they shot in LA or California, because it's ridiculous how many permits and fees and all that stuff you need to like actually like shoot there. But most of these, Hollywood companies, they look for tax breaks. They look for places where they can move their production to that's going to be more cost effective for them. And ironically, like, Indiana Jones, one of the reasons that budget blew up so much was because Harrison Ford, he's 80 years old. He broke his shoulder and they had to like wait for him to heal and all this other stuff. And plus COVID restrictions and like, all these things that just added to the budget. But Kathleen Kennedy is not known for having tight control on her budgets, right? Like this is the woman who famously fired Lord Miller from Solo after having spent like $100 million on that production, and then she hired someone to come in and basically reshoot the entire thing from the beginning. So she's not exactly financially conservative or frugal when it comes to these things. And Leslie Headland, as far as I know, like this is her first time directing, and like she's run some other shows in the past.
She didn't direct any of the Russian Doll.
I don't think she did. I think she was just producer and head writer on that. I could be wrong, but based off of like the direction of the first 2 episodes, I'd be surprised if she had directed anything in the past. But also you know, the fact that she wasn't able to kind of keep the cost under control, and this is like I mean, you could make a movie for $188 million, right?
Yeah, and even that's nowadays too much.
Yeah. So in order to recoup that investment, like Disney really needs people to turn out and watch this thing. And if what we're hearing about tomorrow's episode is true, they might lose a big portion of their audience going forward, where people are just like, I don't want to watch this. So
Gotcha.
We'll see.
No, well, thank you for talking about the money for a second. And yeah, I did hear that Amanda was injured and had to, you know, they had to take a break. And, you know, that just happens in the course of any production. That some accidents happen, you know, especially when you're dealing with more stunts and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's a bad production track record, my friend. Let's do this. Let's hit these super chats, these super stickers really quick. And then I want to hear about your Eva Destruction thoughts and you know, with tomorrow's 3rd episode. Mr. Chunk is here. He gives us not 1 but 2 super stickers. 1 for 2, 1 for 5. Muchísimas gracias, carnalito. You have some different sizes. You have a Shibu farting out
Hearts.
Heart pedos, and then you have a fighting one with I like
basketball.
that, the headband. Oh, it's a basketball. I didn't even see the basketball.
Yeah, tossing a basketball back and forth.
Dope. And then coming in for $10, member of the channel. Dan, we have that membership movie night this Wednesday night. I hope all our members can make it this Wednesday night. We'll repeat that. Remind me, Fletcher, when we get out of here. For 10 bolas, you come on in with a big thank you. No, hombre, gracias a ti. And this is for all the super stickers and the super stickers and the, you know, money goes a long way. Let's bring in our uncle to serenade us. What's going to happen tomorrow, man? With episode 3, we can't even get a name of the episode. I'll check the IMDb right now. But what are your thoughts?
Well, if Chris Gore is to be believed, this could be the linchpin that finally breaks the fan base for good. And essentially, from what we hear, potential spoilers. So in the first episode of The Acolyte, they talked about Osha and May's mothers, plural.
Yep.
And so we're going to be introduced to a flashback in episode 3, apparently, that shows that Osha and May's like culture or civilization or tribe, it's basically all lesbians. And they had these twins by basically lesbians use the Force to get each other pregnant. That's the supposed plot point here. And Leslie Headland, you know, she's very famously lesbian. And so it just makes sense. Yeah, it just makes sense that you know, the Force is female, and so women can manipulate the Force to basically get rid of men completely in the Star Wars universe. So it wasn't bad enough that in Ahsoka, basically they made it so that the Force, you don't have to be Force sensitive to use the Force. The Force is for everybody. And now, in addition to the Force being for everybody, it basically eliminates the need for men because it can get women pregnant. And this show just, you know, Disney Star Wars has been really bad about just repurposing the Force to basically do whatever plot point they want it to.
Yeah.
There's no rules to the Force
like hyperspace.
anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just like, you can fly through space using the Force. You can read people's minds using the Force. You can do all this stuff that was not in the original trilogy or even the prequels. They're basically just making it up as they go along because the Force can just do whatever they want it to do. And there's so much here where it's just like, why do you have to introduce any of these elements into Star Wars? Star Wars at its basic core was a simple morality tale. It was good versus evil, right? And they have all their actors going out there where it's like, oh, it's more complicated than that. It's about power and who has the will to use it.
And no one's really evil. Mhm.
Yeah, no one's really evil. No one's really good. They're making the High Republic Jedi out to be like, corrupt and stupid and abusive of their power. And, they're obviously trying to make May somewhat sympathetic. Like, a lot of her motivation came from the fact that she thought Osho was killed when she was a kid.
Yeah.
So like that, I mean, there's just a lot of like bizarre stuff. Like Star Wars isn't meant to be Game of Thrones, right? It's meant to be a very straightforward good versus evil epic story. And
So-
they're just destroying it. They're breaking
So
it down
okay,
by bit.
I think the path of destruction was opened by Lucas when he did the Force Immaculate Conception with Shimmy Skywalker.
Midi-chlorians, yeah.
That was just, when that movie came out, guys, and we were all excited for seeing that, left a lot of people scratching their head. Besides all the other bad stuff about Phantom, but as far as like lore and story, midi-chlorians and where is she from? What's going on with her? Some say maybe it was Pelagus that did it, or maybe it was Palpatine that impregnated her. Whatever it is, it was this kind of this weird, immaculate conception and the prophecy. So you're saying that this predates that, and it's two women that have a Force baby.
Well, apparently it's the entire culture. It's like a civilization of lesbians, and they procreate and perpetuate their culture through using the Force to create life, essentially. And so they eliminated the need for men, and it's basically lesbian witches who use the Force to create Force babies. And I actually, I kind of had this theory because George Lucas, he had a plan for the Force where he wanted to expand upon it in the prequels, and I think the backlash kind of scared him, so he never really went forward with it.
He backed off, yeah, and he sold it.
And he talked about how midi-chlorians were the things that made up the Force, and Anakin Skywalker was a virgin birth that may or may not have been manipulated by Palpatine to a successor. But then, if you look at probably the worst Star Wars movie ever made, The Rise of Skywalker, I actually believe that at the end of that movie, Kylo Ren, when he brought Rey back to life, impregnated her with a Force baby. And that in the new Rey movie, we're going to have a new Skywalker who's Rey's son, but it's from Kylo Ren using the Force to bring her back.
Sure, why not?
Well, it's the creation of a new chosen one that crosses the Solo and Skywalker and Rey lineages, all
bloodlines.
Yeah.
So and Palpatine.
So I think that basically this is maybe setting the stage for the Rey movie to have that big reveal come about. But at the same time, it's also like, it's so anti-man, and it's so against kind of like this notion that the Force is meant for something special. I don't know. I'm gonna have to withhold my judgment until I actually see it.
Okay.
I usually trust Chris Gore's take on stuff.
Sure. And they were not
nothing good to say about it. Yeah.
He got nothing good to say. So, okay. Let's say all this is going to happen. You got a society of lesbians, and they use the Force to miraculously procreate, which already then is that like those. This is like a for a story, and then to be secluded, that's why the Jedi go and find them. What you're doing here is wrong, and then there's a whole fight apparently, and that's what we're getting. That's a lot of kind of just rewriting of what Star Wars is. It's like a lot of heavy lifting. Why would they do that, man? What you already have the tee set up. You got the ball on the tee. You already got Aaron Judge coming up to bat for you. All he's got to do is hit it over the the wall there. But what they did is they extend the wall out to not 400 feet, but 500 feet. But let's double it. So it's never going to happen. You're never going to hit it out. But they did it to themselves. They're doing this to themselves.
Well, I've had a lot of conversations with people who have actually like pitched Star Wars ideas to Lucasfilm, right? These are people who got in the room with Kathleen Kennedy, or at least like a Zoom call, and it was like her and like her inner circle, people that she relies on to kind of help guide her in her decision making and all this other stuff. And in general, the people who are the most passionate about Star Wars and who could produce genuinely good Star Wars content are often rejected by Lucasfilm. And I think that this comes down like this is an issue where Lucas handed off the keys to someone who is not a creative. She's not someone who knows anything about storytelling or filmmaking. She was a logistical producer. She was someone who basically made sure that the trains ran on time when it came to really talented filmmakers like Robert Zemeckis, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, stuff like that. So she doesn't have a creative bone in her body. And so basically what she tries to do, Kathleen Kennedy, is surround herself with people that she believes are, talented creatives, right? Like Dave Filoni. But the issue here is that she prioritizes people who kind of share her own political viewpoint as opposed to people who are best for the job. And so you have this culture at Lucasfilm. And, if you really want to dive into this, like this is the same type of culture that they have at Marvel and Pixar. And one of the reasons why all of Disney's output has been really, really poor lately. But basically Kathleen Kennedy doesn't know how to hire the right people to make good Star Wars stuff. And because of that, she keeps hiring the wrong people. She keeps hiring people who are more interested in political storytelling, political propaganda, pushing the message, trying to evoke social change through pop culture, trying to shift the demographic of the fan base because they don't want to cater to men. They want to expand it to women and people of color and all this other stuff. Whereas like if they just told a good story, they would get a bigger fan base. They would get more people wanting to watch their stuff and buy their merchandise and all this other stuff. But they don't view this as the entertainment industry anymore. This is about social change. This is about pushing a political belief and dragging people kicking and screaming into like a new way of thinking about pop culture and our social norms and things of that nature. That's more important to them than telling a good Star Wars story. So,
and it's also left us. They're trying to completely neuter us being straight men, as to having any opposite opinion of this. From the looks of things, you're Caucasian. I'm Latino. I'm mid-brown, right? Fletcher's Afro-Latino. So none of us have a voice though, because we're all straight. They've neutralized us and they're trying to neuter us and cut literally cut us out, man. It's just so weird that it's over Star Wars of all things. It's not like it's like a social thing out there, immigration, I don't know what, but it is kind of all a part of this. But now it's in our pop culture. Now it's in our entertainment. Go ahead.
Well, like a lot of people turn to entertainment to get away from the political issues that are going on in the world. Like the world's messed up, right? It's depressing. It's stressful. People want a place to escape to that. And what Hollywood's been doing is saying like, no, this is no longer an escape. This is something where we're doubling down on all the stuff that's stressing you out that you want to get away from. And it's upsetting people. And it's getting to the point now where I did a tweet about this where I basically said like Star Trek is in a situation now where the fan base is completely dead because they just stopped caring. Like find me a Star Trek fan who actually still cares about the franchise. It's hard to find one. And now Star Wars is at that point. It's no longer passionate disagreement or hate or like whatever. Most of the fan base is now moving into the I don't care anymore category. And that's the true danger of a franchise basically dying, which is when the fan base just stops caring to the point where like they can't even criticize it anymore because it's not even worth their time. They just want to move on and find something kind of like that Indian film, that trailer we just saw. Like I'm actually more excited for that than anything coming out of Lucasfilm.
So now what I thought I would never see, with that, with all that, is these, like you said, these passionate, huge Star Wars channels is their fan base and their outside of their fan base turning on them. I think that first one was Star Wars Theory, right? Where he's basically, they've turned against him to a certain degree. Then I'm seeing these other channels where now they're disagreeing. They're not really happy with Acolyte or happy with these other ones. And they're getting a lot of shit. And you know what? They're actually, not that it matters because it doesn't, but they're gay. They're people of color. But they don't agree with what they're seeing. It's bonkers, man. It's absolutely bonkers.
If you look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, right? Not a single one of those critics that, gave it a fresh rating, gave the Acolyte a fresh rating. It's got like 90-something% positive for critic scores. Not a single one of those critics are actual Star Wars fans. Rotten Tomatoes critics have this pattern, right? We saw it with Luke Cage. We've seen it with every social justice forward pop culture TV show or movie, where basically the reason that the critic scores are so high is because the critics are rating it based off of the social message as opposed to the actual content and quality
That's all they care about.
Of the program itself. And so for the Acolyte, the reason it's at a 90% Rotten Tomatoes critic score is because you have a strong lesbian who created the show. You have a strong feminist who's producing it, Kathleen Kennedy. You have basically all this social propaganda injected into this. There's not a single main white character in this. Trinity gets killed off in the first 10 minutes of the first episode. She was like the only prominent white woman in the show. So like there's a lot of this stuff where it's like, okay, we don't care about how diverse the cast is. Like I don't even care that like I like the guy from Squid Games. I like all these characters. I should say all these actors, but for the most part, the critics are looking at this as like, okay, we have to give this a good rating, otherwise we'll come off as bigots or racist or sexist or whatever. We want to promote the message more than we want to promote the show, and so that's what they're rating.
Sure.
The only honest critic I think out there was the Rolling Stone review that came out and basically said like, yeah, the show sucks.
Yep.
Like, no, it's not good.
Yep.
And the audience score is really reflective of that.
And not that this needs to be said, but I feel we're in such goofball times, right? That I got to disclaim this shit and say I have nothing against people of color, gay people. I don't give a fuck. Right?
Yeah.
Treat me with respect. I'm going to treat you with respect. Now, if I'm paying some dollars, my hard-earned dollars, because Fletcher and my family, anyone that knows goes into my bit of my personal life is that I'm working a lot of jobs just to make money.
Which all are.
I love doing. We all are. So our money's more precious. nowadays,
Those are
especially.
time.
Yep, and time. So you know what? I don't want to give you my money so you can tell me what a shitty person I am, or tell my friend, or tell me that my white friends are shitty people. Get the hell out of here with that. You know, I want the OG characters, and I want new characters that I'm gonna like a Cobra Kai, how they did it really well. You know, that's all. That's your job. That's your job. And again, this disclaimer is just so ridiculous that I even have to say something like that. But I feel it's like, oh man, you guys were like, sounding real homophobic and sexist, man. It's like, you know what? Kiss my ass. Go do your own channel. It's like that girl, threatening people. That we played that video earlier. If you're gonna threat people, you better know what's gonna happen. Because whenever I teach people in regards to martial arts, the first thing I say with self-defense is run. Get the hell out of there. And this person mouthing off, you need to shut up.
Well, there's a very simple solution to all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Which is, if Star Wars stopped doing prequels, if they stopped going backwards in time, if they actually went forward with the story with like brand new characters that don't have anything to do with what came before it, they could just be giving us new stuff, new fun stuff, right? That would solve so many of the issues, but they can't do that because they're creatively bankrupt.
Well, you like Furiosa. You like Fury Road, I take it?
I love Furiosa and Fury Road, yeah. Fury
Road is a brilliant film. I love Fury Road. And you could say it has some heavy pro-women, you can even say it's a feminist action movie. I don't care. It entertained me. You got your message and they're cool. But you were able to entertain me first. That takes a lot of work.
I mean, look at a show like The West Wing, right? Like I didn't agree with any of the politics in that show, but Aaron Sorkin was such a brilliant writer that you really got to like the characters, you got to like the dialogue and the interactions and all this other stuff, so that even if you didn't align with that show politically, you could still enjoy it, right? It wasn't preachy. Well, it got preachy at some points, but for the most part, like if you were someone who wasn't politically aligned with that show and you kept watching it, you knew what you were getting, you knew what you were buying into. With this stuff, it's like the audiences just want a good story, and they keep telling Lucasfilm, hey, knock off all the political crap, we just want a good story. And Lucasfilm just keeps saying no. It's like, we're going to make this political. We don't care about the story.
Okay, predictions, and then we'll wrap it up, because I know you've given us a lot of time. I really appreciate you, man. The chat appreciates you. They're calling you a gentleman and a scholar. I didn't pay them to say that.
Am I the hot sauce in their tacos?
The hot sauce in my taco. What are your predictions for this, for the Acolyte?
Oh, honestly, I haven't cared enough to really sit down and think about it, but a lot's going to depend on the episode that comes out tomorrow, right? If it's as bad as Chris Gore says, I'll be interested to see how the fans react to it. And if it's overwhelmingly negative, then I'm going to say that a lot of people aren't going to finish this season. They might write off Star Wars completely. When it comes to the show itself, I think it's pretty obvious that they're setting up May, who's like the evil assassin twin, to be someone who's actually good. And Osha is someone who is probably going to flirt with the dark side. The Jedi are not as good as we think they are, and the Sith are a little bit more complicated than we give them credit for. But at the end of the day, I feel like by the time we get to the end of the Acolyte, there's going to be a shift in how canon of Star Wars is affected. It's going to be a negative shift, and it'll be interesting to see if the fan base actually cares enough to keep watching new Star Wars stuff that comes out. So
well,
I would have thought Obi-Wan would have been the final nail in the coffin, because that show was just like ridiculously bad. But with this one, we'll see.
Guys, we're going to close the poll really quickly. If you haven't voted, vote right now. We'll give you another 60 seconds. Are you watching The Acolyte? So there's all the choices. We got a lot of votes, which is wonderful. We have a lot of starred comments and a super chat from our good buddy, a super sticker, the man, the Mexican Iron Man. He's here to save us all
Mexican
for
Batman.
$4.99 Monday.
Mexican Batman.
Mexican Batman. He comes in, and what is it? It is a screeching.
It's incredible. So it's
incredible.
like somebody holding their face and saying incredible.
Well, Mike, thank you so much, and you hold a special place in our heart by having your own thank you video. All right, muchísimas gracias, Mike. Katie, you got to bounce?
Yeah, and my wife's probably wondering where I'm at.
yeah. We're gonna get through these comments and make some last minute announcements. We got this. We just want to thank you for giving us like 2 hours of your time, man. That's pretty cool, brother.
Oh, I appreciate you having me on. It's always a pleasure to come on your show and talk to you about movies and stuff.
Yeah, now we got some new stuff to watch. We got the Indian film, and I'm gonna recommend some other stuff, and we'll do another stream soon.
Yep, can't wait.
Okay, everyone, if you haven't, please go and subscribe Salty Nerd, and please say adios in the chat to Matthew. You have a good night, brother.
Thanks, Paulie. You too. Thanks for having me on, and it was a lot of fun. Enjoyed it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Have a good night. Peace, brother.
All right. Take care.
All right. There's his Salty Nerd podcast link. Before I get to these comments, don't go anywhere, guys. We have some other announcements to make. And I was just going to ask Fletcher a question. And he bounces out. All right. Here we go. Aaron Taylor, force in, force out. Oh, God. Sounds horrible. Sounds horrible. Horrible. So it's not a triumph? No. Baza. The Great is here. I didn't watch the second episode. I did. Sander, remember the channel? He's a wrench. How many people were forced to watch the show? Well, if you didn't have a YouTube channel and you don't cover this, that is a real force watch. Here, it's like it's almost like part of, our duties here. Duty, yes, I said duty. Sci-Fax is here. Hello, Polly and panel. What's up, my dude? Darth. Disney Star Wars is Weekend at Bernie's now. Oh. Donovan, and yet they still spend an insane amount of money filming even before the pandemic. Bonkers, man. I don't think Disney greenlit. I don't think Disney ever greenlit the budget for the show. I think KK was funneling money to this show. Well, either whatever it is, it's 188 million. And in some scenes it looks incredibly cheap. Hi, Miss here. Remember the channel? We'll take blood. We got to get you back on, man. Talk about your stuff. Kennedy is not known for having tight control of budgets. Yeah. You think? Budget. What's a budget? Just we're gonna do a force thing on the show. We'll do the force on you to love this show. I'm gonna force you guys to love the Acolyte. There you go. Average 22 million per episode, or give and take more than double the last season for Game of Thrones, which was one of the most expensive seasons. With 188, you can make 15 Godzilla minus ones. Just saying. I know the budget to some of these movies that are getting out there it's good to see a trend. I know for a fact there's a trend now that they're making movies less expensive. Thank the Lord. Marcelo Lopez is here. It's gonna be a slaughter. Slaughtered out. Darth Plato comes back. I know a YT guy got annoyed. People were dissing the legendary KK by reading the entire IMDb on the live show. God, what a waste of time, man. Marcelo's back. It's going to female the force and nevermore to be watched. The fallout will be strong with this one. Dan's back. If you want another perspective on woke Hollywood, listen to the recent Jordan Peterson interview of Dennis Quaid. Excellent. I have him on Spotify. I will listen to it. Thank you, Dan. Georgie Girl. Being a reader of the EU, I've always understood midichlorians to be a conduit, not actually the force. I'm not a hardcore EU. All I've read were the Thrawn books. Why not greenlight somebody, some amazing filmmaker just to do Heir of the Empire? Just that first one, man. Do it right. Again, Aaron judged that shit. It's a T-ball, man. That's my problem. Thank you, Matt, for being here, gentleman scholar. Thank you, Dan. Yes, he is. He's a great guy. Time to explore strange new worlds outside of Hollywood, the independent and international market to fill the void. It's for me just saying piñatas, Latinos. Dan, we do that on the channel. We do that on the channel, and you know we do. We cover Indian cinema, independent Latino cinema, independent Latino filmmakers, independent filmmakers because of what you just said. Clip that. Clip it. Fletcher's back. Okay. What do we got? Okay, we got some I got some announcements here. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm seeing Inside Out 2 out of the theater review. So you know what that means, right? I got to see Inside Out 1.
What? Why is it not your favorite movie ever?
I don't have children. I'm very picky about animation movies and songs and all that stuff. Not my number one. It's not my go-to. So I got to see that. I got invited by our good buddies, Chris Cornell and Ning. Oh. Why do I always end up seeing like these movies are like Little Mermaid and a bunch of dudes?
Well, because that's the audience, I guess.
Is it the shirt? People
It's got to be the shirt.
People getting the wrong idea.
Yeah, totally. Says you can only wear that shirt in Hawaii. If not, you get invited to.
Well, I am in LA.
Inside Out too.
I am in LA, Fletcher.
Right, but if you're in Vegas, it's okay because that's the part of the islands. But LA, I don't know.
But here's the thing. This is a badass shirt. Romy got me this shirt. Romy got me this shirt, dog.
Right.
I love this shirt.
I'm not saying that it's not a bad shirt. I'm just saying that it says Inside Out too.
No, listen. Just entertain me. I don't care where you're from at this point. If you're this or that and you can entertain me, God bless. God bless. I'm going to see this movie. We'll do a review.
Woo-hoo.
Okay. Wednesday night. I repeat to all the members of the channel. Oh, let's get rid of this other banner. We're going to watch a movie, Fletcher. Tell us all about this.
Yes. All right. So this is one of the classic Santo movies, and this was Santo with a couple more luchadores. I believe it's Mil Máscaras and Blue Demon on this also. And This funny.
Thank you. Thank you. He likes the shirt. Thank you.
I'm not saying that the shirt is bad. I'm just this movie. It's
I'm
funny.
going to the Copacabana. I know. Hold on. Just hold on to that. This reeks of Havana. Cool.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Are you in Havana? I'm just saying.
No, I just don't want you. If you're trying to like
shoehorn you,
unmanly me, unstraight manly
that.
me.
I think you're very, very, very secure.
Better
of your
watch it.
masculinity.
Better watch it. I know, and I listen, and I love the gays.
There you go.
And they love me.
There you go. You watch the Birdhouse. It's cool. You see it on theater.
Well, what's with the Birdhouse reference? What's your problem?
I don't know. It's a movie that my sister loves that I know has slanted that way. So it's the only reference that I can go with.
Listen, the chat's with me, Dapper Diego.
There you go.
I'm cool enough to be a bystander in Scarface.
Nice.
Hey, how you doing, man? Say hello to my little friend.
So they
my little friend
associating you with drug dealers. Very good.
Right.
Right. Yes,
here we go. Right
chat,
again.
Paulie, yeah.
Yeah. Say hello to my little friend Picard.
Hey.
How you doing, Picard? I'm barely alive. That's good. That's good. We like it when you are alive and you are saying make a soul. I love it when you say make a soul. Can you say that for me? Make a soul, or else you're gonna have to say hello to another little friend of mine. Make a show. You're gonna have to work on that because I have another little friend who is gonna come and beat your ass, and that's my little Ewok friend, and he don't play.
Oh, Ewoks don't play. They're dangerous. Vicious
I don't know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going.
But
it's late, folks. Polly woke up early.
But these are my little friends. Hey, everybody. We have little friends. Oh, my God.
Hello.
All right. Enough of this.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm entertained. Look at, again, we go back to entertainment. I'm entertaining my crowd. Don't ever command me, Tony. Don't. Elvira. I can't even say these lines because they're so dirty. Ewoks are known killers, dog.
Yeah, Ewoks is vicious, man. They're
this one, he don't play. Look at him. Look at his hands are out.
Yeah, man. Who knows what they got?
He doesn't. Who knows what he has under his fur?
No, you don't want to know.
I don't want to know. Yeah.
Dangerous animals.
This one likes to hump Picard's leg too, so you gotta watch out.
Man, so yeah. I don't mess around.
Oops. Shout out. Okay, back to let's start again. This Wednesday night. What's happening this Wednesday night, Fletcher?
Well, this Wednesday night it's our member viewing party, and we are going to be watching Santo contra las momias de Guanajuato, and this is one of the quintessential Santo movies. Santo is a wrestler from
We're
Mexico.
watching a Mexican wrestler film, guys, and he's gonna fight mummies. That's all you need to know.
All right, there you go.
And what's gonna happen is Fletcher's gonna be with us, and he's gonna give us like details, play by play, all that good stuff, right, Fletch?
I'll do my best. It's been a while since I watched this one, but it was one of my favorites as a kid.
I think that's the last really time fun. I watched this film as well, dude.
Yeah, these are fun.
Here's what we're gonna do, because this is a public movie on YouTube, so we're not gonna get the copyright strike, correct?
Right. So this is basically it should be in the free realm because it's available in different places on YouTube. You can get it for free.
So we're gonna
along with us.
Right. So you're gonna watch along with us, but if you're a member, right? Plato, Jaime, we got a lot of members here. Dan, We have a lot of members here. You guys are going to be invited to join us here on the panel. Watch along, comedy, all that stuff, conversation this Wednesday night. Sounds good?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What else? Anything else with that one?
No. Just if you want to hang out with us, consider becoming a member. It really helps out the channel, and it'll be lots of fun to hang out with you guys.
Okay.
I'm already wearing a luchador mask, Darth Plato. I'll do that as I get up.
Do I have a luchador? I used to have a silver one, man. It was nice too. In fact, I'm gonna see if I can find it for Wednesday night.
Yeah, the movie is El Santo contra las momias de Guanajuato. So it's El Santo contra las. It's Santo versus the mummies.
Santo versus the mummies. Yeah. Why people are asking what movie it is? Oh,
Sci-fi asked just now.
Yeah. What's the movie when? It's a Mexican wrestler film from Mexico from the 70s. So it's like just cool wrestlers fighting dead people. That's it. FYI, I'm a licensed wrestling official for Levels Youth to Prep level. Wow.
Wow. You can judge the wrestling that's happening.
You gotta come on. I don't think that, Dan, I want you to come on anyways, but I don't think you're gonna really think this would be. I mean, how do you officiate El Santo killing a mummy?
Yeah. I love it when they use wrestling moves like in the middle of a graveyard, you know. It's that jump gotta hurt. You know,
gonna get hurt in that graveyard. Use the stones, use the tombstones.
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, you've been amazing. I think that's it for the announcements. Oh, we gotta kill the
poll.
We gotta kill the poll.
Kill the poll.
There you go. The poll is done. Tons of votes. All right, let's bring it up. Let's highlight it. Are you watching The Acolyte? 45% said no. Much disturbed this show is. 26% we have Star Wars at home. Wow. That is a combined 71% that they're done.
Yeah.
They're done. 18% the Force is female, maybe. Waiting for full force, 9%. I actually think that was the funniest one. Good job. Good job, Fletcher. You do a fantastic job, man. Every week, brother. Every week. Hey, put the link to Midnight's Edge Espanol too in there tomorrow.
Okay.
for Wednesday show. If I have no baseball games to umpire Wednesday, I'm there. You are invited, brother. Would love to have you. Okay, so I think guys in the chat, do you guys want us to react to funny videos? Do you want a funny video segment, or do you want us to close up? Let me know right now. Fletcher is every Wednesday. He does Midnight's Edge Espanol. Make sure you are subscribed to that channel. I pop on in, and they're always having a blast. Do you guys want a mucho fun segment right now? Let me know, yes or no, or can I wrap it up? It's fair, right?
That's fair.
Yeah,
fair
it's ready
used.
to go. Mm-hmm. What are people saying in the chat? I just see a smiley. Penny's just smiling.
Penny's just smiling. That's Penny, though.
That's
Penny,
Penny.
we love you.
I vote yes, yes. After all that misery, Star Wars. Okay, fair enough, Sander and Jaime. All right, here we are. What do we got? What do we got? Oh wait, let's play our intro. Mucho fun, where Fletcher scours the internet and brings us videos and images and stuff. So what do we have here, Fletch?
So this is Will Smith and Martin Lawrence at the carne asada, being paisas.
What's a paisa for
A
those people
paisa
that
is
don't know?
basically a paisano, which is a countryman, or mostly it's usually in your area. So a paisa would be somebody from your country, but also if you're your state, it'll be like from your state, somebody that's local
Okay.
to you.
All right. Here we go.
Está chillando, ¿no?
Ya agarró, ¿no? Ya huele, ¿no?
Ya está chillando, ¿no?
Okay, so what did they say?
So basically, they're saying, is it crying already? When you're listening to the mid grill, you want to hear that sizzling. Some people say like now it's crying, and when it's smoking, it's the right season, the right smoke is when your barbecue, your carne asada is ready to go out. Most other cultures, we're very territorial with our grills and how we do things. So,
Which is in the film as well.
Yeah,
There's
very
a
much
whole
so.
there's a whole grill thing, and then it's a great ending there. Okay, well that's cool. I mean, look at they're with probably some Latino influencer, and they're doing a funny bit. All right, that's cute. All right. Okay, what is this?
Oh, this is part of like my wife's influence, and actually, you and Romy's influence with the little dogs things. So every time I found one, I gotta try to save it. And this one is, it's a cute little puppy.
We'll see how cute it is.
It's like, why are you looking?
Get away from my ball.
Get away.
All right, what is this?
This is one of those funny memes because a lot of people, when they go to the Mexican restaurants, they always don't realize how many calories are in fried tortillas, meaning tortilla chips. So this one is saying Mexican restaurant realizing every 4 chips equals 1 tortilla. So that's a lot of tortillas that you just ate.
So this is someone realizing
Yeah.
how fat they're getting eating these tortillas.
Eating a tortilla.
Tortilla chips. Here we go.
Yeah.
Cute. Really fast. Bunny V is in the chat. Yeah, we got and did a reaction to it with subtitles earlier in this live stream, and we're in, man. We're in, Bunny V. Kalki is the real deal. Okay, what's happening here?
Which one is this one?
Okay, I'm just gonna play it. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Probably.
Here we go.
Oh,
Ve
yeah.
al puto gimnasio. Ve al puto gimnasio.
Pues si para allá iba.
So if you don't know, this is an influencer that wants to get people to go to the gym, and he does this ridiculous messages on TikTok and stuff like that. But usually what happens is that people, they're so physical or like ridiculous that people take it and splice it and make content of their own from this guy's thing. As he does, he spits out the water and stuff. But so this guy was actually pretty funny because he's basically saying in Spanish, go to the gym, and then he's like,
wow.
Well, that's where I was going, but then you spit water on me, now I'm not going.
That's hilarious. Yeah, the edit cut was pretty funny.
Ahora por tu culpa ya no voy a ir.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy.
What's this image you sent me?
Okay, so this is a cool graphic artist, and what he does is he takes Olmec, Toltec art.
Mm-hmm.
If for you guys that don't know, those are different indigenous tribes of Mexica, Mexica era. So what he does is he
Mm-hmm.
brings them into like mecha style and anime, and brings in all kind of cyberpunky stuff. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's got different styles. This one's more like a like a watercolor stuff, but it's kind of cool because what would we have like a Toltec mecha, you know?
So this is if a Mecca met an Azteca.
Right. So it'd be a mecha
Boom.
mecha.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I like it. I like it. That's why I
Yes,
picked
they're
it.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Justin Channels digs it. What's up, Justin? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? I mean, it's very graphic, and it's very
Mm-hmm.
you can see the style of it. I love how he
Mm-hmm.
had the pyramid in the back,
Mm-hmm.
So it's rather kind of cool. And you almost see like it's almost like into like something happened, like a battle happened, and they're just like, yeah, we won. So it'd be cool.
Right. Yeah. They just beat up on some conquistadors or some other tribe.
Right, yeah.
Nice. Okay, what's next? Oh, I love this one. When you're the only Mexican in the room, like like a room full of
Yeah.
gringos or whatever, and you start feeling like homeboy here from Apocalypto.
Yeah. You start like, yeah, come at me, bro.
Come at me. What was this character's name? He had a great name.
Oh,
Because his Jaguar Paw was the hero, but the cast, his name, is it Zero Wolf?
I don't remember. It's been a
Does
while.
that sound right? Yeah, Zero Wolf. And this is Anyways, fantastic, man. Yeah, we tend to puff it up, and we know we're the only Mexican in the room. We gotta represent our entire culture. Nice. Okay, what's next? Oh, there's a new movie coming out.
Yeah, that's blending it up.
Robert Downey Jr., Samuel L. Jackson star in Nick Furiosa.
Yeah, the Furiosa memes were pretty on point.
Well, it looks like they're sticking around longer than the film.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that movie is crashing and burning like
Yeah,
really strange.
that was
Really strange. You know? Good stuff here. Good stuff.
We're in Baldwin Hills. We're about to go in the theater.
Oh, and then we played this.
Yeah, you had that.
Okay, I think that's it.
All right.
There you have it. Listen, we've been simultaneously on X this whole time. Have a great audience, around 80 people throughout, views, all that good stuff. I want to thank everyone for stopping on by. Another great Monday, and I will have another great guest next Monday to be announced. One last thing I wanted to point out before we say goodbye. We're starting to do these things on Friday. TNT, right?
Right.
Trilogies and timelines. It's where I take a film that has more than 2 films of it. It's got to be at least a sequel. It's got to be a bona fide sequel, Fletcher.
Right. Then
we get our buddies and we break it down. So we've done Bad Boys, and we did the Mad Maxes.
Right.
And so as you can see here, we got everything from horror to dramas, fantasy, action adventure, sci-fi, thrillers, the Hannibal trilogy. People forget about the Hannibal trilogy. To the mariachi trilogies. What do you think, Fletch?
Yeah, and we had also talked about maybe the Halloween trilogy, since they're coming up. They're talking about doing a TV show,
and so Right. And so what we'll do, Fletcher, is that we'll pick, like, let's say Terminator.
Right.
And okay, Mandy Summers wants to do it with Georgia Giant Slayer or with I don't know what. We're bringing different people together to talk about this stuff. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
man,
original
the original
Planet of the Apes.
man.
There you
Tom
go.
would go nuts. Tom would go ape.
Ape poop.
Yeah.
Okay, we're adding that right now.
Get your dirty ape hands off of
Planet
me.
of the Apes. But you know what? We're gonna put original and Caesar trilogies. See, that's the thing. You know, we got to talk about them all. Let's talk about it.
Right, and they even have like cartoons. They had TV shows. You know, I mean, they have the Planet Apes, man. That's extensive.
So we'll be doing that. I'll start working on Evil Dead's on here. Evil Dead's on here, Sander. I'll start working on this Friday show. And that'd be good to get R&B. Let me see what R&B is up to. And we'll what about Marky Mark? Well, it's only one movie. And I saw it the other day. I resaw it.
Oh yeah.
I resaw them all. It's not really good.
Awesome.
The Marky Mark. Oh, Highlander. Was there more than 3?
Yeah.
2?
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, it's on the list.
And plus the TV show.
No TV shows. It's just movies. Because you do TV shows, then it becomes this other thing, and then you got to think also too, Fletch. It's a lot of time commitment for someone.
Yeah. So you're never gonna do like the X-Files?
No.
Oh.
No.
Well, how about the movies? Didn't they have more than one movie?
There's only 2.
Oh, well, didn't you say it was 2?
No, it's got to be a trilogy at least.
Oh,
2 movies don't count. No.
Yeah, The Crow has more than one movie.
Okay, there's 4 Crows before this. Wow.
Yeah. Because don't forget the Mark Dacascos stuff.
The Crow. I'm just typing in The Crow now. Okay. Godfather's on here. The Rock. No. The Rock only had one movie. What are you talking about?
Maybe if you
Underworld.
put it with James Bond, yeah.
Got it.
Underworld, yeah. Underworld has like what? 5?
Underworld.
6?
Excellent,
Isn't it
guys.
6?
I don't know, but Darth Plato, let me know which one you want to be a part of, because he's got some good knowledge. Back to the Future. I got Dark Knight, Die Hard, original Matrix, Jurassic Park. All right. What's up, Fernie? Jurassic Park. Okay, it's on here.
Oh man, that one's got like, isn't it like
Police
7?
Academy?
7's gonna be?
Listen, if you are typing it, I'm gonna put it on here. Why not?
Man, how many police academies are there?
Dude, I like tapped out after the first 2 or something. Final Destination, but that's when we're getting desperate.
There's a tune of Final Destinations.
Yeah, they got a big crowd for Final Destination.
Yeah.
That's Tim.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Lost Boys. There was only one Lost Boys.
Wasn't there 2?
Dude, I need 3. Guys, I need 3. It's called trilogies and timelines. Timelines is when there's like more than 3 and they start messing with the timeline of their IP. Beverly Hills Cop, RoboCop, The Hobbit.
Yeah,
oh
RoboCop,
my God. How do we not have RoboCop on here?
You didn't have RoboCop?
No. RoboCop.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop. Boy, the chat just came alive, huh?
I know. Death Wish.
Death Wish? Oh,
yeah, those
boy.
were fun.
Oh, boy.
It's like all your cousins brought out the check this out, and I'm like, what am I even
Equalizer.
watching? Oh, yeah.
Equalizer. That's a good one.
Oh, Equalizer is great. Yeah.
Denzel movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. We just added like 10 more. This is like, now we're good for the year. Conan Barbarian, if you include Red Sonja, but
Yeah, is this in a 3 plus a new one?
no, well, okay, Conan's interesting because Conan had Red Sonja and it had a remake of Conan.
Yeah, but plus
Would
it had
you guys
Conan
want
the
to count
Destroyer.
that? Well, we got Eastwood. We have Fistful of Dollars I have up here, don't I? Fistful of Dollars.
Oh,
Fistful of Dollars.
the Man with No Name trilogy.
Dirty Harry. Terminator movies. Terminator's been up here.
Yeah.
Terminator's been up here. Fox X-Men. All right, so there's X-Men. Then there's X-Men Fox. Okay. You got it. All right, well, there you go. The Hangover? Come on, man. Really?
Yeah, a lot of people like those movies.
All right. Hey. Hellraiser. Oof. Did we get the Predators? We don't have the Predators.
No, you don't have the Predators?
No. Okay, Hellraiser.
Yeah.
See, Predators is a great example of a timeline because, it's more than 4.
Yeah.
Predators. Mission Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Don't I have that on here? Okay. Mission Impossible.
Do we have Blade?
Yes. Blade's up here. Predator. This is great. Desperado's on here. Hey, what's up, Julissa? What's up, girl? Did you just get here? We got Desperado. Yes. That's called the Mexican trilogy from Rodriguez. So Mariachi, Desperado, and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Spider-Man. I'm sure we have Spider-Man. The original.
Yeah, Spider-Man?
3.
Yeah.
Yes, I got him right there. Star Wars, we have the Star Wars original and Star Wars prequels. We're not doing sequels. We're not going to talk about those films. Got Blade.
Do we have the Die Hard?
Got Die Hard.
Okay. How many National Treasures were there? Weren't they
2?
2?
There's only 2.
And
Only 2.
Oh, have we
Chucky,
done
Child's
the-
Play. Oh, really, guys?
the Tony Jaa movies,
Child's Play.
Wasn't it 3
On box?
on box? Yeah, there was 3
On box.
3 on box.
Yeah.
On box. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll put that in there.
Are we doing the Expendables?
We did Mad Max. Mad Max was 2 weeks ago.
Said the Expendables.
That's what
Oh,
kind of, yeah, but
ha ha! Folks, I'm taking over the slant. That's right.
hit the wrong button by accident.
We're gonna do all the TV shows now.
No.
Did we got the Mummy?
I self-censored. Got Die Hard.
No, the Mummy.
The Mummy.
Yeah, there was 3
There was 3?
mummies. Yeah, remember the last one was with Jet Li.
The Mummy.
And plus we have the remake with Tom
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
No, we're just gonna do. I'm not Fraser. You could also think too, guy. This is a big time commitment. So any panel I get together, it's like, all right, you got to go watch. So the next one, like the next new one, will be Alien because Alien Romulus is gonna come out. So that's when I would want to do the aliens. The Dan Brown movies. Oh, come on, man. Really?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, not sitting in for that one.
I mean, what about, what I don't have on here is Godzilla.
No? Oh man, because that's a big
That's
one.
a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big time one.
Yeah. Oh, Satoshi films.
Ooh, Rocky.
I love the Satoshi films.
I did it. How can I not have Rocky on here? Thank you. Okay, you got Rocky, Godzilla, original Star Trek movies. Yes.
Yeah. Original
How do we not have the
Supermans.
Superman, Star Trek movies, and Star Trek Next Generation.
Oh,
Great.
The Taken. How about The Taken?
Chronicles of Narnia is not going to happen. No.
No Chris Caspian.
Leprechaun. What about
Well, they're
Superman?
remaking
Christopher
Narnia.
Reeves. Yeah, that's on here. Superman, Christopher Reeves. We're good. We got 4.
Didn't they make another 300? It was the 300. Then there was something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. Rise of the Empire. Just 2 though.
Yeah.
Men in Black. Okay, got Men in
The
Black.
Kinsman had 3.
M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. East Trail 177 trilogy. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Explain Sin. Yeah, only 2 300s.
Oh god. How many escaped? Well,
Creed.
Escape from New York.
Thank you. I
And then-
loved the Creed.
It was Escape from New York, Escape from LA, and then they did a remake, didn't they?
Oh, gotcha, Aaron. Okay, gotcha. This is interesting. This is
Oh
yeah.
yeah, the Unbreakable Split in Glass.
Yep. So, but what is that trilogy called?
They call it what do they call it? They do have a name for it.
Okay, and we'll just say M. Night trilogy for
Yeah.
now.
Since
But I know I know which movies you mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bill and Ted. Oh God.
X-Wing says, "Are you ready for tomorrow?"
X-Wing. You going live tomorrow, buddy? We're just going over our we really finished the show. We're just going over our trilogy movies that we're gonna start doing. So this is another thing we'll do, right? Is that like I will show the list to X-Wing and I'll say, X-Wing, pick 3. And he picks 3. And I'll do that to like 20 of our friends and say, all right, let me collate. And then boom, you know, all right, X-Wing, you're on the Back to the Future trilogy because that's like your because you know everyone's gonna want to do fucking Lord of the Rings, everyone's want to do Star Wars. You know, we gotta mix it up.
Fun one.
Yes, Back to the Future's on here. Am I ready for tomorrow? Yes, I am, brother. Are you ready?
When are we doing the Fast and the Furious?
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, we got a bunch of them.
Come on, dog.
Too fast, too furious.
Come on.
You got to do it for family. Latinos. How many more Latinos? There's tons of.
You know what? All right, Fast and the Furious. That's you know. And the Furious. Okay. That's what I said. Fast Saga. Okay, Fernando. All right. Family. Got it.
The Born Identity.
Born Identity.
Yeah, there's like 4 of those now. No?
Identity. Scary movies. Screams. There you go.
Yeah. Scream. The Batman ones. The
Romero's Dawn of the Dead films. Yes.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
Romero's Dawn of the Dead.
We already have Lethal Weapon, right?
Muppets. Do we have Lethal Weapon?
Do we have Lethal Weapon?
You guys have like more than doubled the list now, by the way.
John Wick.
What about 007?
That'll be a lot of list.
So It would, the thing with 007, we could do it in parts.
Mm.
Do the first 3, or maybe we do, you know what? That'll work out according to the different bonds.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
We'll do the different bonds for that, the different Bond actors. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Divergent? No, absolutely not. Bruce Lee, what? Enter the Dragon, Return of the Dragon?
Yeah.
But he's not the same character as the title.
Rambo?
No. Rambo. How the heck is Rambo not on here? Wow. Rambo. Thank you.
We could do La Femme Nikita, because there's Nikita, there's the English one, and then there's the professional.
Yeah, do Bomb by the actor. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, guys. I'm now hitting my wall, and I'm gonna need to eat. Harry Potter. See, you guys are just you guys are too much. Fantastic Beasts. All right, let me write that down, because those are good ones. Harry Potter. Fantastic Beasts has 3 now, right?
I believe it does. No, I think it was 4, wasn't it?
Fantastic Beasts 3. Taken. Okay, we'll put Taken in there. I love the live stream. What's up, Dragon movie guy? I'm glad you like it. Love.
Yeah, we got the Equalizer, Pacheco.
Got Equalizer.
Yeah.
Good night,
the
all.
Matrix?
I have to watch Rewind, and okay. Watch from the beginning. Thank you, Julissa.
All right, I guess we're taking out because I'm tired too. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, now you're tired?
Yeah, that's it. Now I'm tired. Let's go. Well, I'm trying to save you and see if there's appreciation I get. Forget it, and you're
okay. If you're not a member of the channel, I don't know what you're doing. Become a member tonight. Now. Dude, look at everything we give you. Everything we deliver.
Tonight.
Dun, dun, dun.
Whoa.
Kind of like a Latin James Bond. Thank you to all the members. Whoa. Trying to get the volume down here. Okay. What channel is this trilogy stuff happening on? It's on here.
It's on here.
It's Friday nights, Friday evenings. So we're going to see how well we do by sticking to it. Okay.
Yeah, cool. I like Riddick.
Pacheco, good seeing you. Oh, Riddick. Is that a trilogy?
Yeah, it is, because you have Pitch Black, you have Chronicles, Riddick, you have Riddick. You know.
I liked Riddick, yeah.
Plus, there's the anime.
And I saw those in the
video game.
And I saw those on in the theater.
Yeah, me too. And they got
In the Heat of the Night
coming out.
I don't know what you're talking about, Sin.
Oh yeah, in the Heat of
Thanks
the Night.
for the stream.
Was a bunch of those, huh?
Thank you. Was there? Well, I'm tired. Thank you guys. That was good stuff. All right. We'll see you soon. There's the captain.
Adieu.
Adieu, da-do to you and you and you. The generals. All right, guys. We're out. Peace, everybody. Nah, Polybond. Yeah. Laters.